First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, God. I have to. And it's hard to say thank you, God, under the circumstances of what's happening to me. My life is just being destroyed, but I have to be thankful because I could be participating in a program that destroyed the life of men, women, and children. But the things they do is also humiliating to them. For me as a target individual at this point, I don't respect this trash. I've seen how low and non-self-respectable they are to themselves. Forget about me. They know. I mean, they shouldn't even care about me respecting them, but they don't respect themselves. I gotta start off by saying what's happening to me. I am what you call a target individual. I know what it means. It means the government is using me as a test subject, and they're utilizing this weapon system that can destroy my organs, my body, and my mind. A lot of my body is being destroyed in the sense that my organs are failing. Things are looking bad. I know that I'm wasting away, and I can see it. I can see the result. I can see myself in the mirror slowly wasting away. But psychologically, I'm also being attacked. My mind is being attacked in so many disturbing ways. My current experiences are falsified, manipulated. My thought process are manipulated, and my memories are manipulated. Matter of fact, they just manipulate memory in just magical way. That I'm gonna, of course, mention, but it's not gonna be really about that. It's gonna be about my experience right now. This false memory just was applied not too long ago. But as I'm being manipulated and tormented, there is a psyop of people around you that's supposed to create this false reality. They're supposed to make you believe that, first of all, what you're experiencing is not manipulation, that you should be identifying with it, that you should be accepting of it. I have to be thankful, at least for me, that the people who try to make you accept of that, some of them are still the people that you will never, they will never influence you in life. I say that with the utmost disrespect. There are people that basically see them as clowns. Children. Just frustrated children that want to live a fantasized reality. Because this program does utilize children to participate, or childlike individual. The technology is that sophisticated. So what happens is you get manipulated in certain ways, and then you have these clowns that come in. They have no shame. So no, that's not real. That's you. I'm dealing with that level of retardation. And as you clearly hear me say retardation, I don't respect them. They know that if we get to see each other, if they try to act this way, it's not going to work out well for them. They so out of touch with reality that when I say that for what you're part of, you deserve death. It's like what? Why would you even say that? It's like they're confused that the reality is like you are trash. Of course I don't accept this manipulation. I know who I am. You can tell me who I am? I mean, I heard the testimonials of others. That's what you do. You manipulate the brain, you rewire the brain in these disgusting ways, and then you try to make somebody accepting of it. Because I see that in a lot of my videos. I've showed the pattern of what they do. I show the videos of what they do. It's like, hey, once again, this child made me have this reaction. This is this. I've been making videos since 2020. Same things every day. Same tactics. Matter of fact, this memory manipulation. Let me just give you a quick snippet. I'll make a video about it. They're making me think of a woman that I was with sexually. Remember seeing her pictures on some profile pictures and seeing a picture of her as a child, like a little child, a toddler. Manipulate my memories to experience the stimulation they make me have today with the sexual stimulation toward children. And so, you see, that's what you experience. See, we mapped it. And then it changes. There's okay, no. You didn't experience that at the moment, but this is how you would experience it if you were being mapped and your brain was paired to what you experienced as a child. It's just stupidity. And then they send these retards that they understand that you are not being respected by this target individual. He knows you're a clown. He doesn't respect people who have much more than you. See them as clowns. So for you, oh God, you're nothing. But they go into the lost reality of like the fantasy, not even the fantasy, the things I'm going to deal with. I know that's because I put the reality in their faces every day. Because I put that in their faces every day. The rage they have against me is not the rage of like, oh, it's the rage of me every day putting in their faces. I know you manipulate my brain. I will never identify with this manipulation. And I know you guys are nasty low life involved in a program that torture children. These ways of forcing me to experience these things is what you can make my brain experience, and it's falsified. Even my memories are manipulated and falsified. At this point, it's so bad that even with somebody, the pictures of this woman's childhood, a woman I was with romantically, they're making her, my memories of her, seeing her baby pictures in these ways. And they use these clowns and these childlike men and childlike women and actual children to try to break me down to accepting this. And they make me feel like that, but you would feel like this if this was that. It's like, yes, if you're in my brain and I saw this picture of her when she was a child, I will have this experience. You're right. But because I was myself, I didn't experience that. But if you're in my brain, you'll be matching it. But you were in my brain, so I did not experience this nastiness. It's like, no, but this is not be the typical thing that you think is like the typical reaction I will experience when I see kids like that today. It's like, yes, today when my brain is manipulated, I will have these experiences because my brain is manipulated. Matched. It will be matched. They have no shame. That's how he has gone to rationality. And they use this child people, these winners, these trash and clowns. It's my duty. I keep saying these things to them. I got them. I got you. I'm here for you. You need a little touch of reality. I'll be there for you every day. You gotta see yourself for what you are. I got you. I understand you can play with my brain in whatever version. And they're like, oh, and by the way, they're like, oh, this false is match. Yeah, I'm sure if you guys were matching at the time, I will have this experience. I'm sure. But fortunately for you, because you weren't in my brain, I didn't experience it this way. This is the life of this bottom fuse. This is the type of retardation I'm forced to experience. But I'm so thankful because I could be living life like them. I couldn't even live with myself living that life. I couldn't even I'll be like, what am I doing in my life? I'm not going into somebody's memories, manipulate the memories of the child, the woman he was with romantically. Find a picture of her when she's a child, what he saw in her Facebook or whatever, and manipulate that picture. And then say, it matches. Meaning that's what you would experience if you were in your brain, matching your brain into your childhood brain. Whatever stupidity. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror and respect myself. But these people, for me, I love to put that in their faces. I don't care if they respect themselves or not. I just love the fact they don't. And I love the fact they give me this material for me to say that in their faces. Or see me knowing that he's looking at me like a fucking clown and shit. And it's true. Now, this is my memories. Today, as always, they falsified my memories. They falsified my current experiences. My memories are obviously falsified, manipulated. That's what I just said. But 2 seconds ago, I saw another picture of a child. Or some children, a girl. Let me just repeat that, a girl, because usually with girls, that's why it's like, no, you enacted this, you are girls, and they come out with this fucking nastiness. The truth is, they manipulate my brain in real time too, as of course my memories, to try to validate the current experiences that they force me to experience. They falsify memories. It's got to the bottom, to the level of like even the pictures of somebody I was with romantically when they were children. It's like, no, it matched. Yeah, I know what they're saying. Basically, that it feels like what we experienced at some point in my childhood. But because they're not in my head, they weren't in my head, mapping me, pairing me at the time, I didn't experience that. That's what they say. Can you imagine the stupidity that you have to be in? I know this grown man is not a fucking retard. Excuse my language. But I have to be like harsh with my words. Because these clowns need to see themselves for the clowns that they are. Talking to just stay strong. Right now I just saw a child, a little girl, because little girls is usually what they do. When it's like, oh no, that matches, that's you when you're a kid. So I saw a little girl like this. In my brain they're creating this like that. For me, I put that in their faces every day. they deal with the reality of what they do. They're not going to escape. I mean, they use childlike people who can live in the fantasy. You can't even hear in their voices. The people who can easily live in the fantasy reality. Now, I've seen grown-ass women do the same. Grown-ass women. You know how much pleasure I get out of just saying that in their faces? Especially the adult one. Target individual, be strong. For me, you know how easy it is to put the reality in their faces? First of all, memory manipulation is what they do. They falsify memories. They do that so much. You're going to hear target individuals say that. But for me, I've been making videos since 2020. And when they were falsifying my memory then, I was like, this is what they're doing. I was saying that at the time.
Memory, you actually had that memory, but the perception changes in that memory.
This is in 2020.
And sensations are added to it. Nuts. It's just so weird to even try to explain something.
And it's a number 4, so they were trying
because it does feel so, so abnormal. But adding sensations, feelings, perceptions of things you weren't feeling, just to also create this narrative in this person.
If you see this, it shows 2020. Same stuff. They're systematically doing things of that nature. And then because there's a 4, they were supposed to make me accept 4 with math. They torture 4-year-old kids. That's the sad part. And as I said that, they said not real. I'm like, of course, I'm here for you. I got you. Now, this is what they do. They rewire and alter the brain. They change the brain in ways that are degrading. You gotta be strong. I will make that video about this memory manipulation at one point. But in the meantime, I just bring that up like that because they falsify current experiences. And this is why they falsify memories. To make you accept this false persona. Then they have this trash around you that's supposed to gaslight you to accepting this. I love the fact that it takes so little to sound like a prophet. To sound like a genius. Because they truly have to be retards. And for those kids who are already not that far from that spectrum, it's magical. Now, once they do these manipulations and they want me to accept this manipulation, and obviously you clearly hear that I'm not identifying with this, it's clear what they do, they start deflecting and saying some random thing. Pure gaslighting 101. It's changing the subject. It's part of distorting reality. Oh, they're gonna rape you. You're fired. The sky's blue. It's raining outside. Anything they can just try to take your mind away from saying things for what they are. As I'm saying that, they try to find ways to counter that. And it's typical gaslighting because you are not identified with this manipulation. You understand that it's the same things they do, and this is the things they're going to continuously do. They're going to falsify memories the same ways. They're going to look where there's a child, make you experience a false reality, a false memory, a false experience, and be like, oh, we're mad that you experienced that. So like, okay, bullshit. False memory, once again, I've been saying that since 2020. It's about, it's going to be over 4 years now of the same things they've been doing to make you accept these false memories. Was I a prophet then? Did I know that this was going to be falsified? No. I knew that's what they were doing because I was experiencing that at the time. I mean, now they're like, oh, you see, that's what we experienced. That's what you experienced and all. It's like the same thing. And when I make the video about this false memory, I'll bring that up. But what they're doing is rewiring the brain. What I love to put in their faces is the non-real stuff. The non-real stuff here, and I say that for them because they like to say non-real every time. They want to counter reality, right? So I call it the non-real stuff. And I'm being careful because this is the non-real stuff.
That can plant voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare. And they used it, I believe, in the Gulf theory. How do you They want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define the probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how do you control them? Most people don't.
This is the not real things. And I say that as the perps, these bottom videos are supposed to counter that. In this fashion, it's not real. And I love to put that in their faces as much as you've seen it before. And they do these tactics of, pedophilia, tormenting.
It's referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planting.
This is how not real this pedophilia type of torture is.
It's dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But he thought of it. This disgusting thing. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting thing that I didn't want to know because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is.
They're making so much noise campaign to counter something, which I'll get to. But in the meantime, let me show you.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images.
Almost all
targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
So they clearly do the pedophilia type of torture. Right now, somebody's pounding the wall because he's trying to say, no, but remember what you did as a kid. That's why when I see 4, they try to be like, oh, you pay for what you did as a kid. This trash clearly tortured children. And I'm not a child. Now, let me just say the stupidity or the rationality that I should have for these people who clearly do this pedophilia type of torture. They can clearly force you to have the forced reaction. Want me to start thinking. They want me to think that, what they're doing is basically pairing my brain or matching reaction that I will experience when I was as old as this kid and younger. That's what's happening. That's these people who usually do the pedophilia type of torture are just pairing my brain to me as a kid. Matter of fact, with this false memory that I'm talking about, that I'll make a video about, it's like you didn't experience that at the time, but that picture or that kid or that how this kid looked, and which is a woman today, she's a grown woman that I was with romantically, but that's a baby picture. But the way that woman looked when she was a kid, you will get that experience if you were a kid, that age. They're making noise campaign. Let me just tell you how retarded these people have to be. This guy who makes noise campaign, so because I'm dealing with V2K, they pipe voices and they can pipe in noises, and so the noises that you can hear this childlike person just pounding. He acts like he's mad. It just makes so much sense. They have no shame. They have no fucking shame. I'm like, how do you even live with yourself? The humiliating, cringy life that you live every day. You know when you wake up from like a cringy night of you being drunk and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. It was cringy as hell. These people live life just purely cringiness. They consume cringiness. They live cringiness because they have to be damn near retarded. And they're like, yo, I dared. You're gonna die in hell. It's like, I'd rather die in hell because you having there, it sounds like hell for me. I couldn't even imagine living myself. Oh, you're dared, and guess what? I'm gonna win. Please live a long life of winning. They alter the mind in these ways, and they can control those reactions. And you have people as childish, and unfortunately, I don't have more than picture that. But this is the people that live around you that's supposed to gaslight you into accepting this manipulation. But there's some childlike men too. Oh, those are even worse. Like this is it's like they have this like, it's like, how can I say that? Can you know like this like childish boy that is like, he's like this like a douchebag but childish at the same time, but like kind of like you don't even pay a mind because this guy is just like childish. You don't respect him, but he thinks he's a winner. And you're like, oh yeah, you're such a winner. Good job. That's the kind of purpose I deal with. On top of this childish looking. And it's supposed to make you accepting of this because what's happening is this.
Designed to interact with the human nervous system in order to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
Has come under investigation for links to the proliferation of
They work for governmental entities where pedophilia is truly an issue while they're falsifying memories, falsifying current experiences in these pedophilia-centric ways. The Department of Defense is running its program. These bottom feeders are just the bottom feeders for these entities here. They passed a bill in 2019. Well, they created a bill in 2019 called End National Defense Network Abuse to limit the amount of child porn trafficked using DoD computers. Listen to this.
The Pentagon already takes measures to limit worker access to stuff like porn by rolling out what they call the Personal Electronic Device PED policy, where workers have to drop off their phones and lockers before entering their offices. All their online searches are accessible by security if or when needed. Their Wi-Fi access is monitored in digital security suites. So how is this happening?
Well, it's happening because even though there is a certain amount of limitation on access, those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible. This bill attempts to essentially say, look, we're not doing enough to stop it from coming in, but we're also not doing enough in the Department of Defense to go after those individuals who are being recognized as the ones who are perpetrating this.
Top-tier child porn traffickers. A bill was created because they're so pedophilia-centric. By the way, do you know how they tell me they're going to frame me? Yes, they say they're going to frame me. They're going to implant child porn. I hear people like them saying, we're going to dare to implant child porn on your computer. We're going to say that you raped one of us, one of these kids here. I'd rather die in hell than live life like them. You know something's still waiting for them. The not real reality that they will try to block out. But I'm here to say, can you imagine being like them, talk about implanting child porn and calling it daring as they falsify reality, create false memories. Oh, everything they do, it's been done to others. And for me, it makes me like a prophet that I'm describing what you're doing to me today, in 2020. The validation that these people are just low-life bottom feeders, just utilizing you as a guinea pig, has been validated beyond nth degrees.
Able to impose any information on the brain of a person, presumably by some kind of waves, which in the mind take the form of voices, thoughts, and images in imagination. In addition to this kind of implanting information that they need, they manipulate the psyche so that the information is written into your memory. Then by stimulating the certain regions in the brain, they can retrieve this information and present it as your own memory. This is the conclusion that can be made judging by the influence they have been making on me with their psychotronic weapons.
Others have said that their memories have been manipulated. And you heard that. This is some testimonials from somebody in 2007, but this is what this is really about.
Miss Catherine Nestor.
This is the not real stuff.
Catherine Nestor, I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MK Ultra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here.
You heard this woman say that her and her young child are being used as guinea pigs, as test subjects, where they get this psychological torment. But in fact, she said something about neural monitoring, right, which has damaged them psychologically. And they're like, oh, you see, we're monitoring your brain. We're not manipulating your brain. So why are you monitoring a young child's brain to the point where it gets psychologically tortured and damaged? They are altering the brain and pushing you into insanity. They rewind your brain. And children are being involved in this too, as test subjects too. Young children, like, being damaged psychologically by this shit. And surprised when I say you deserve death. Oh my gosh. Trash us. Target individuals do not identify with this manipulation. I will never. And I'm so thankful for all the testimonials from Robert Duncan, which I hope is not dead, clearly saying they are rewinding the brain and trying to push people into insanity, to push themselves to kill themselves, walk them to their death. And they have this pedophilia type of torture tactics that this woman said, which also talks about how she's selling a 4-year-old child with Down syndrome being sexually tortured using this weapon system. The not real stuff they don't like to hear. Target individuals stay strong and see this trash where they are. They will get theirs. The things they do to us, you've seen. Pajamas. That's what they're wearing when they do these horrible things. That's how easy they made it. That's why they can utilize children to partake in this. For me, I'll put that in their faces till the end degree.